Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the 20-minute fashion distraction. I am Jacqueline Jenkins, the founder of Sophisticated Curations and the producer of the 20-minute fashion distraction. And what we like to say is if you are not following Sophisticated Curations or following us on Instagram, please do that. And if you are enjoying the 20-minute fashion distraction that happens every Wednesday at 8:30, please do share. And tonight, oh my goodness, we are a week away from Christmas. And it's so hard to believe. And I just actually wanted to do a holiday piece around a creative, sustainable, entrepreneurial, female owned business that I wanted to share more insight with. And so I am going to bring my guest on. Hi, Tamecca.
Hey,
Good to see you.
me too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, what I like to do is before we start chatting, because I don't think we sing people's praises enough, I want to take a minute and read your bio. And I know people like read the bio, but I think it's so important to really acknowledge that not only the wonderful things that you are doing, but like what you have done. And I see my mom is here. Good to see you. Hey, hey, hey. Shout out to Richard for making
Yes, shout out to
this.
Richard for connecting us.
Yes. Hi, Leah. So let me introduce you to my guest. Tamecca Seril is an entrepreneur and an impact investor. Tamecca is the CEO of FOLKUS, a sustainable goods company leveraging the practical approaches and incentives around design aesthetics for Black folks and elements9.com. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But what I think is really neat is it's not only paper goods, but it's really the concept of having there be sustainable and what that means from a creativity standpoint. Hey, Kim. And I see you, Judith. And also, I wanted to share that Tamecca really has what I like to think of a strong entrepreneurial giving background in the sense of the work that she's done in terms of supporting the community. So she is a strategist in residence at NYC Design, a hardware tech incubator where she coaches startups on how to commercialize their inventions. And for all my entrepreneurs that are watching, definitely wonderful to have somebody that coaches and supports. And from 2012 to 2014, Tamecca was appointed to serve as the entrepreneur in residence and managing director of the Coalition for the Improvement of Bedford Stuyvesant, which is wonderful. So when you think about support for Brooklyn and the many emerging businesses that were there, it's so wonderful to hear that. In addition, Tamecca has also worked as for digital ventures for Yamaha, GM, Remy Martin, and is as the founding chief marketing officer of Quello. She's a proud University of Virginia graduate and also the Harvard Kennedy School, and is a resident of Harlem with a mother of two, and I will say a dear friend of Richard Pelzer, who is a dear friend of mine. So I like to think that we're dear friends now.
Yeah, we're like cousins already.
I know, I know, I know. And we talked about just the many backgrounds and paths. So this is wonderful to hear. 20 minutes goes fast. And so I wanted to just jump right into our questions. And one thing I would say, we usually talk about fashion, but I thought tonight would be a neat way to give some creative ideas for holiday gifts and just holiday ideas that we may want to inspire. So Tamecca, can you share what is Focus?
Sure. So Focus is a sustainable goods company, but it's built around Blackness. Therefore, so you get a sense of fashion. As you mentioned in my bio, we think about sustainability very differently. We humanize sustainability, right? I think sustainability far too long has been about just climate change and polar bears and not about vulnerable communities. And so I think Black folks, since, the day we landed here, have been doing sustainability, right? So I think we think about it from practical approaches, our inventiveness, and our design aesthetic. So whether that is, taking scraps and doing quilting, or thinking about how to take, like, for instance, in our product, we upcycle limestone. So instead of using trees and water and bleach to make paper, we make paper by utilizing limestone. So we make stone paper. So that's our principal product is stone paper. And we do it by applying Black themes and Black aesthetic. So for instance, here's like two of my papers, well, it's actually one paper. So just like Black folks, we never throw anything away. And I don't believe in having a white side on my wrapping paper. So this is the Kenya Yusef. So there's like the mud cloth version and then this bright yellow version. Another version of our paper is this, the Khadijah and the Zakia. So this is the same paper. Make sense?
And you can use either side.
Either side. And because it's stone, it also makes our paper liquid resistant, grease resistant, tear resistant, and bacteria resistant. So you could spill water on it, coffee, wine, and it would bead up. It doesn't saturate. It's a non-porous paper. However, you still can use it for writing and journals, which I'll show you later. But overall, I think we have figured out a way to leverage the Black aesthetic in so many ways. And like, here's another one. This is my Anansi. So it probably looks familiar to people in the sense that it looks like and resembles an African fabric. And likewise, so does this one. This is the Nana. But here's its opposite side, which is the bodega bag. So this was like a tribute paper to New York State. So it has the thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a nice day. This one here is called Solo Bento. So you can't see the other side, but this one has the African jewelry adorning it. And then a more recent design is this one, Shona, which is a zebra kind of camo print. I think you can see that. You see like the eye of the zebra over there. Can't even figure out where to place my hands. There's like the eye of the zebra, and there's the foliage. So,
oh my gosh, they're beautiful. And you're right, Leah. The colors are, and Judith, the color, it's beautiful. And you know what I want to do? You sent over to me. Hey, Kim, it's so good to see you. You sent over to me some amazing pictures, and I'm going to just quickly see if I can show a few, and maybe you could share what we're looking at here. Let me just pull this up. Like this tablescape.
Right. So that tablescape there is the paper I just showed you earlier, which is the Yusef. So because it's non-porous, you can use our paper as a table runner, a tablecloth, and a variety of other applications. So if gravy or grease spills on it, you can simply wipe it off. And also the bacteria on our hands doesn't transfer to it. So it's also a great way to keep your surfaces, quote, clean and germ-free.
Oh, not and so and I as you were talking, I wanted to ask this question, but I was like, I don't know if I can ask this. So basically, you can reuse the paper as well. It's not just wrapping paper.
Right, right. So I think of calling it wrapping paper as a convenient terminology, right? And also because of the format we created in. So it comes in your traditional 30 square foot roll. Yep. We don't do sheets. So people can do a lot with it. And, you know, with some of the other images that I shared with you, you'll see like you can frame it as artwork. You could put it on a wall. It's wipeable. So
let me pull up the wall image, because actually that was a beautiful, let me see, hold on. The
nursery. Yeah. Oh, So in most of the pictures that I shared with you, it's the same exact paper, just used in many applications. So that one pictured in that picture is the Tariq. And the side is the Najma. And you know, my inspiration for these designs are people in my life. But generally speaking, the Black community is my muse. So, you know, we have papers like Malcolm and Betty. I think that's an obvious one. The Khadijah and the Zakia. Khadijah comes from, you know, two different Khadijahs. Khadijah on Living Single plus Khadijah, the founding, like, I guess you could say, mother and the first wife of the Prophet. So, you know, to me, when I think of these Khadijahs, they are powerful women that are boss women, enterprising women. So to me, Khadijah was the print I wanted to do for enterprising, ambitious, boss women.
I love it.
Yeah.
This one I thought was very interesting.
So that's the Lala, and the opposite side is Mimi. So that one is part of this collection of sort of tribute papers to our Caribbean folks and to Miami. So it has that, to me, is a very Art Deco vibe. And then on the inverse side is flamingos and these beautiful like handcrafted notes. And so it's a collage on the opposite side.
Hi, Van. So you can also use the paper as wallpaper.
You could. So in the coming weeks, we're going to be posting some information because we're going to review some of these stick and peel adhesives that you can use so that you can transform our paper into wallpaper.
I love it. And you quickly touched on the inspiration as far as it being the Black community, but can you expand upon that some?
Sure.
Because your patterns are amazing. And so, absolutely.
Thank you. So generally speaking, again, I always tell folks that we aim to expand how folks celebrate, cope, and connect through Blackness and environmental stewardship. And with that said, I find that my muse just comes from everyday folks, whether it's my dad, Monroe, or from heroes. And so, for instance, in our collection this season, we have a print called Henrietta. Well, it's for Henrietta Lack. So it's like these little like DNA chains. And actually, Richard was really fond of that. Like when I go through the process of designing, sometimes I'll send it out to friends and say, what do you think? And I remember Richard saying, it's perfect. Leave it alone. Don't do anything else. And so I remember leaving it alone. And then when I looked at it and studied it a little bit more, I was like, this is meant for Henrietta Lack. And so for me, it's a way of giving tribute to people in art form and also just propagating Blackness because I think, people go into the store, they get wrapping paper or whatever it is, and then here they are. It also makes them compelled to learn the story behind the naming convention and learn about those folks' stories. So for me, it enables me to build in storylines with the paper.
I love it. And can you talk a little bit about papers for the holiday season? As we're thinking about wrapping and
sure. So I've assembled a couple of, I just grabbed a few from the office today. And, so one that I think is really cool in our collection is this one. It's called Noel on this side. So it has like these beautiful gold metallics. And then the opposite side is this green and gold marble.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But I like to think that, when you're doing wrapping paper, it doesn't have to have elves and Santa and those kinds of typical Christmas themes. I think that Blackness, again, is universal, it's seasonless, and you can always zhuzh it up to make it feel specific to the occasion. And so in these examples, like this is the Kenya and the Yusef. This is the same paper. And I love when people try and attempt to do a kimono or a pocket wrap. You can do this on any gift. You essentially just do a fold up and it allows you to insert things like a card or in this example. So I think when you wrap a gift, I think adults love stocking stuffers, right? But who's going to be walking around with the stocking? So if you do this by simply doing a kimono or a pocket wrap, it enables you to put like flat objects like a hair mask, a face mask, a bookmark. So maybe you want to give someone like a book for relaxing, and then you can give them some little spa treatments, all wrapped and bundled in a gift. I also like little simple things like, most women love to have like some adornment, like earrings, necklaces. Why not put a little jingle bell? This little jingle bell I acquired from the dollar store. So basic bowstring, black ribbon, and throw a little jingle bell. And instantly you transform this otherwise jungle safari print into something more holiday.
I love it. Hi, Tracy. So, okay, you said, and I am the worst gift. I'm a great gift giver, but I'm a horrible gift wrapper. I just put that out there. You mentioned the kimono. So what is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, so it's a little hard probably to see on camera, but this is simply you're wrapping inwards. Just like how you would wrap a garment around yourself, you're doing the same thing with an inward fold. And there are lots of tutorials. We have the tutorials on our Instagram. If you go to our Reels and click specifically on the Reels tab, you'll find it there, and also on our YouTube channel. But this is a simple wrap, the kimono wrap, that it just goes left to right until you conceal the center of the item that you're wrapping. Also, this is simply some pleating and adding a pocket. If you don't want to do the pleating, let me just pause too. I also think that folks should think about the ribbons and things from a Black perspective. So for instance, like here, I've put on a brass Ghanaian charm. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, beautiful.
These are kinds of things, this, beads, and other stuff that you can typically find in an
Beautiful.
African or a black market or in a black gift shop. So, why not throw it on a gift? Even broken charms and earrings sometimes make good little tassels.
How
Um,
creative.
yeah.
So, okay, in addition to extremely beautiful gifting ideas, you're also an entrepreneur. And I would be remiss if I let these 20 minutes go past and we didn't take a minute to talk about the entrepreneurial journey,
Mhm.
and even just kind of what that journey has been like with COVID, and kind of growing your business.
Sure. So Focus is an outgrowth of my primary business, Element 9. However, last year we were doing emergency food relief, and I think all of us, in terms of Black folks, were feeling the heaviness and the weight of being Black with, George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. And I felt inspired in the moment, and it came through it came through in designs, and then thinking about the essence of merging the design with the sustainability. And it's been tough. I think I've been really fortunate in this last year. Within 2 weeks of launching, we got a call from HarperCollins to work with Cicely Tyson on her memoir to do her wrap. So she chose this wrap, the Khadijah, and this was the card that she inserted. So
Oh,
this is the packaging that she used to go to her VIP list. Shortly thereafter, I think because of the momentum of all things Black and Black Lives Matter, it was the right time for us. It doesn't necessarily mean that behind the scenes it made it any easier. I think the cost of doing business was extremely expensive. Materials are expensive. The unpredictability of things like logistics and freighting have really hurt. But I think the opportunity is there. And I think that timing was beneficial because it also allowed us to work with companies like Netflix. I don't think that many companies in their infancy would have that opportunity. And so, like, this is one of the projects we got to work on was the Ada Twist Scientists
oh,
Netflix series. So this is a series produced by the Obamas on their Higher Ground production. And the Obamas were intentional. They were like, we want to work with Black brands to do merchandising and licensing. So I don't think, again, like if I hadn't launched when I launched, would this have happened? Probably not. If the things and the sacrifices of our community didn't happen last year, I don't think that folks would be thinking as much or looking and scouting for Black brands as aggressively. I mean,
mm,
Black brands have been there forever.
mm.
But I think that they're scouting and looking for more innovative companies, and I think our timing was good. But it has been one of those things. It's kicking my butt every day. Like I'm in tears and like thinking, okay, how am I going to get through and push through one more thing? And we didn't also have a kind of hand holding, so we had to make a lot of quick decisions. There are things I would do differently, but right now I'm happy in terms of like how far we've come in just this one short year. So the deal with Netflix, we're in negotiations with a national retailer right now. We've worked with HarperCollins. I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the future, but I do hope that things calm down and become more predictable.
Well, you look amazing while you're moving it forward, and congratulations. Those are some wonderful brands to be working with.
Yeah, and speaking of which, so you can also get this on our website, this particular product at walmart.com, or you can go to our website at focus.co. So folks, go get this. It's considered a collectible item. It's in that collectible items category for them. It's a limited edition product. And I'm just so happy to even have that as an opportunity to be onboarded onto walmart.com as well. So lots of good things, but definitely fast paced, logistically very difficult, but no complaints per se.
Wonderful. And I want to make sure, so you mentioned the Walmart site. Can you say your
Mhm.
site again? Because people are still shopping for the holidays.
Sure. So you can find us at www.folkus.co. So focus, as in Black folks. Actually, this is our brand,
Awesome.
and it's just .co. So you can find us online at focus.co, and you can also find us on Instagram and Facebook with the same thing. So Focus Co.
I love it. So on the fashion distraction, there are one thing that we say every time is that there are things that we can't get back in life, and time is one of them. And so, Tameka, I thank you so much for
Thank
sharing
you.
your
Thank
time
you so much. This has
with
been
us.
great.
Yeah, and to the audience, I thank you guys. Oh my goodness. So this essentially, I don't know, I didn't get to share, but one of my COVID creative outlets was to start making hats. So I have my final hat making class next week, and it actually is going to conflict with the time of the show. So I'm not going to be able to do the show next week, and then the following week I'm going to take a break. So I am not going to see you guys until January, but I'm looking forward to it. I think tonight's show was a great way to close out the year. We love celebrating entrepreneurs. We love celebrating women. So, Tameka,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
that.
And if you don't mind, I just also want to encourage folks, you can engage with us and meet us this weekend. If you're in New York City, we'll be in two places. We'll be at the Kwanzaa Crawl at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So you can catch us on the 18th and the 19th there. We'll also be at the Brooklyn Expo. So these are places where you can meet other Black brands as well. So we're going to be like one of 30 Black brands in the Kwanzaa Crawl. Brooklyn Expo, and lastly at Industry City in Brooklyn as well. So if you go to Industry City and you buy from one of the businesses there, you can get free gift wrapping on us. And lastly, we're having a flash sale on our website. So right now we're offering a 5 for 45, and our journals are 50% off.
I love it. I'll be sure to do a post to make sure that people can find you. That's right, Van. Happy holidays. Tameka, hold on. And I just want to say thank you all for spending the
Thank you.
year with me on Wednesdays at 8:30. I'm going to see you guys back in January. I'm very, very excited. And just stay blessed and have a beautiful, beautiful holiday season. So hold on, Tameka. Have a great night, guys.